for kids, but it's important for adults too.
Yeah. You guys got an interesting float this year. Tell us a little bit about that.
It really is. It talks about what you can do to live a healthy lifestyle, which is eat well, vegetables, fruits, all of that, and the exercise, and the various things you do. For example, to go see a family care practitioner every year. If you've got a family doc and you see him once a year, you're in much better chances of having a healthier lifestyle.
Sure.
And so we're promoting that on the float. We've got the young man that won the essay contest that's going to present
Right.
the ball at the 50-yard line. Cole Witlinski, he wrote an essay on how running is fun. So he and his family are on the float. And
then at the game, what a thrill.
Awesome.
But the best healthcare plan is don't get sick, and that's getting us healthier, and that starts in childhood.
Right, and no doubt, and it's really not that hard, and if you get used to doing it, it becomes repetitive, and everybody's better off.
In fact, we saw all these folks out this morning getting a lot of exercise this morning for the turkey trot.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. Dan, it's always great to have you here. In fact, we'll be talking to you a little bit later on in your other role as the head of the Parade Prep Foundation.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Kim.
Yeah, great to have you here.
All right, let's see what Ben is up to down on Woodward. Hi, Ben.
Kim and Devin, the music continues down here on the Motor City Casino Hotel Street stage. And next up is Christina Kateri. Her musical influences range all the way from Aretha to Elvis, and you'll be able to hear that in her voice. On December 22nd, she's going to be performing at A Christmas of Hope, a benefit for the Bahamas, which is at the Flagstar Strand Theater in Pontiac. You can get tickets right now on Ticketmaster, and she is here with us this morning. With her band, here is Christina Kateri.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Oh, it doesn't show signs of stopping, and I've brought some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. Oh, the fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we're still goodbying. But as long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Kiss goodnight, how I hate going out in a storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home will be warm. Oh, the fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we are still goodbying. But as long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Oh, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
All right now.
Wow,
I
that
heard
was
you singing.
beautiful.
I heard you singing along.
Here's the thing. I can sing along when it's nice and loud and I'm kind of softly blending in, but if it's a solo like you
I thought
don't
you were
want to
going to
hear
be
my
one
voice.
of her, doo-wop, pop girls
I
in the
can do all
background.
that. And lip syncing is my specialty.
But she's got a great voice, a great voice.
Absolutely. Welcome to the Treehouse. Good to see you.
It's good to be here. Just from over at the Brakeman, a different location this year. Now here in front of you in the Treehouse.
Absolutely.
Good to be here.
We have so much in store for you throughout this morning. The parade is kicking off. We'll make its way here to our area of the parade and very, very soon. But of course, it's the bands that are a part of the parade. That is what gets everybody on their feet, dancing, clapping, and we like to crown a winner. It's called the Battle of the Bands. So take a close look and listen to every single band you hear today.
And we want to get you ready to vote in the Battle of the Bands, sponsored by Southeast Michigan Ford Dealers. You can show your support for your favorite school marching band in the parade by voting at clickanddetroit.com. The winning band, as you mentioned, we like to crown a winner, gets bragging rights and a 2019 trophy. that they get to show off to all of their colleagues and peers,
More
right?
importantly, it's the bragging rights.
All
And
right.
we have a lot of amazing bands here in the city of Detroit and beyond. So we are definitely just trying to highlight one with this award because you're voting, but we know they're going to be spectacular on the parade route, along with all of the floats, the new floats, the balloons, and all of the clowns today.
There's a lot more to come from America's Thanksgiving Parade presented by Art Van Live along Woodward Avenue. We're back after this.
The broadcast of America's Thanksgiving Parade presented by Art Van is sponsored by Meridian, a well care company. Motor City Casino Hotel, 1,000,000 miles away, right down the street. And Kroger, zero hunger, zero waste.
All right, welcome back to a beautiful, somewhat brisk morning here as we take a live look at the beautiful Shinola Hotel on Woodward Avenue. And actually, we want to thank Shinola for hosting us at the Brakeman earlier this morning.
And I see by the old Shinola on the wall that we are getting closer and closer to the parade, making its way down to our position here down at the base of Woodward. But joining us right now, Parade Company President Tony Michaels, and as we just mentioned, wearing his other hat, Dan Lepp, who is the Michigan Thanksgiving Parade Foundation Chair. Well, here we go, Tony. You had a challenging night last night. The winds were picking up, and of course, you don't just roll these things out at 7 o'clock in the morning. You're trying to get set up.
It was a bit like the scene from The Wizard of Oz.
Great comparison.
Yeah,
That's
really.
trouble.
But what a team we have, Eric
Yeah.
Schmidt and the guys. 1:30 in the morning, got everything put back together. It was rough, but you know what? It's all about today.
That's right.
It's all about the people of Detroit, and we are ready. We really are.
93 years. It seems like every year, and I've been here 5 years, there's more and more stuff.
Yeah.
Is it true this year? There's more?
There's more. The floats are even bigger. They're bolder. We open with the Detroit Youth Choir. It's really what we're supposed to do. The event's owned by the hearts of the people of Detroit and our state, and it's our job to deliver what they want to see and make it great.
In fact, Dan, it's funny. These floats keep getting longer and longer. My theory is that eventually we'll have one float that's 2.5 miles long.
Right. Runs all the way from the DIA down here, right?
Blue Cross is next year with a new float, so I think we can do that.
It's true. Tony and the team do a terrific job, and the thing that makes this great is every year, each parade is a little bit different.
Yeah.
There's new innovations. So if you come here this year, next year you'll see a different parade as you did this year from last year, and that is really keeps it fresh and keeps it as part of the fiber of our community, which it is.
If you're not changing, you're standing still, and that is not what the parade company's about. That's for
No
sure.
doubt.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Another thing that makes it great is the longtime supporters. You have so many great supporters.
It's incredible. We start with Art Van as a presenting sponsor, and we go right through Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, Ford, DT, Huntington. I'm going to miss a million. I need to stop.
Yeah, you better not.
But we can't do this without
Yeah.
these companies, without the support.
And it says something about the business community that
sure.
they are invested in the city, in the region, in the state.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the new ones that come in and take up a position in the new Detroit
Right.
know that that's part of what's
Absolutely.
expected of them, which is great.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, we're getting ready just like you, getting excited for it. It's coming up.
Let's head over to Rhonda and Evrod. Hi, guys.
Hey guys, good to see you. Well, let's talk about Somerset Collection. It's time to make somebody's day
Yes.
and give away a gift card to Somerset Collection so they can go shopping and get me something in a size large.
I will say, I was at Somerset Collection yesterday. Picked up some gloves for today.
There you go.
It is so beautiful to hear all of the music and see all the decorations and get into the holiday spirit. So make sure you make your way and don't do all of your shopping online. Go to our beautiful malls. And we do have an opportunity for Margaret Horner
There
from
you go.
Detroit to go. You are our winner of our Somerset Collection gift card. You get $250 to spend. That goes a long way at Somerset. So congratulations, Margaret, and thanks for playing along.
And don't worry, you can also win by going to the local forecaster's weather app right now and enter for a chance to win. We'll be right back from live along Woodward Avenue for America's Thanksgiving Parade, the 93rd annual parade presented by Art Van. We're back in a minute.
The broadcast of America's Thanksgiving Parade presented by Art Van is sponsored by Meridian, a well care company. Motor City Casino Hotel, 1,000,000 miles away, right down the street. And Kroger, zero hunger, zero waste.
All right, welcome back, everybody.
Back. Take a look. All right, we've been working together so long. We see the exact same things at the same time. Huge crowds out here along Woodward Avenue preparing for America's Thanksgiving Parade, presented by Art Van.
And here's
I
the
think
thing.
it's an important moment to just reflect, because the fact that it's presented by Art Van, we have Art Van Elslander right over our shoulder right now, watching over this parade. It was one of his favorite days of the year, and his family was with us earlier this morning. Gary and David, his sons, just talking about what this day meant to him and how committed he was to it. And so we thank the Van Elslander family for continuing to be a part of this parade. And I know
And the community
Art is
as
looking
well.
down smiling.
Yeah, we definitely miss him. One thing that I noticed, though, as we took a look at the crowd that's gathered here, everybody's all festive, dressed up, so why not?
It's
we're
like the
we're
happiest day of the
festive
year.
as well, yes.
And you know what else makes
absolutely.
people happy is when you give them gift cards to do some Christmas shopping.
Yeah, so let's tell them how they can win. A reminder for you, you can win a $250 gift card from the Somerset Collection if you enter the contest by using the new and improved Local Forecasters weather app. And
Yes.
$250 can go a long way.
Yes, it can. It's the app, you know how to find it, but it is actually a lot different if you haven't looked at it lately. And all you have to do is download it. If you already have it, you'll be able to find the prompt right there so that you can enter to win a $250 gift card. But we should mention, you know, the parade is all about getting new things. And
Yeah.
one of the things that we got this year at Hobnob Gobble, which is, of course, the big fundraiser for the parade company to put on this beautiful parade, is these light-up candy canes. I wish I could eat it right now, actually. I love candy canes.
Well, we'll figure out a way to get some candy and all that good stuff. In the meantime, we want to go down to the floor and check out what Ben has going on. Good morning, Ben.
Evrod and Rhonda, I'm just hanging out in front of Santa's house. He doesn't have his Ring doorbell cam installed yet, so I'm just making sure that the presents are still here when the big man appears. But we've got more music to get for you, including our next act, which is the Keynote Sisters. They've been performing for 7 years, Phoebe and Jacqueline have. They've released their first EP of original music called Rose-Colored Glasses just a few months ago. Please welcome to the Motor City Casino Hotel Street Stage, the Keynote Sisters.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight. Walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is the new bird. He sings a love song as we go along. Walking in a winter wonderland. Better we can build a snowman and pretend that he's Parson Brown. He'll say, are you married? We'll say, no, man, but you can do the job when you're in town. Later on, we'll conspire as we dream by the fire to face unafraid the plans that we made. Walking in a winter wonderland. Walking in a winter wonderland. Walking in a winter wonderland.
Oh, that was fantastic. The Keynote Sisters. There is something about sibling harmony. It's almost like they're related. It's just sounded
It's
wonderful.
really nice.
And somehow the instruments are all staying in, because on cold mornings, tends to be string
harder.
instruments and the brass instruments sometimes can go right out of tune, but everything's working out for us. Parade getting closer. That means the big guy is going to be making his way downtown too.
That's right. We'll be keeping an eye on his progress as he makes his way down Woodward Avenue with the Santa Cam. And that's sponsored by Delta Dental. It's a great way to see the parade from Santa's point of view.
Another talented musical family from Detroit, the Griffins, are coming up next. We got a lot more to come. We're so glad you're with us as we get ready for America's Thanksgiving Parade live from downtown Detroit. Don't go away.
The broadcast of America's Thanksgiving Parade, presented by Art Van, is sponsored by Henry Ford Health System, all for you. Delta Dental, building brighter futures. And Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loan.
And welcome back to Woodward as we are less than 20 minutes away from the start of America's Thanksgiving Parade. We've been listening to some fantastic music, and we still got more to go as the crowd is getting warmed up. They're ready for everything to be going on here. And up next, our next performance truly captures the spirit of the season because it means so much to the Griffin family. Mom, who is Lachelle Renee, sings the national anthem at all of the Detroit Pistons home games. And she has 5 children, and all of them are musically gifted. Today, they're paying joyful tribute to their late father by singing his favorite Christmas song, a song that they love to sing together. So here is Mom, Lachelle, along with her daughters, Brianne, Lachey, sons LG, Raphael, and Nathan. So please welcome to the Motor City Casino Hotel Street stage, the Griffin family.
Let's show them how we do it. At the Griffin's house, y'all. Hey! 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 Happy Turkey Day, y'all. Let's get it. See, hang on the mistletoe. I'm gonna get to know you better. This Christmas, and as we trim the tree,
how much fun it's gonna be together. This Christmas, fireside blazing bright. We're caroling through the night.
and this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Hey, come on. Hey, hey, that sounds good, right?
All right now. Presents and cards are here. My world is filled with cheering you. This Christmas.
And as I look around, your eyes are shining, tell me now. This Christmas,
the fireside is blazing bright, and we're caroling through the night.
And this Christmas,
hey,
will be a very special Christmas for me. And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me.
Hey.
Sing ahead. Hey.
All over the land, yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Jingle bells,
Jingle bells,
Jingle all the way.
They sound amazing.
That was awesome. Back to sibling harmony,
There
right?
you go. Yeah, I believe in your theory.
Dialed in.
Okay, well, joining us now is Nate Forbes of the Forbes Company to talk about what's happening with the Somerset Collection this holiday season. How are you?
I'm doing great. Another year down here in Detroit, and every year the city just fills in around us, and it's really magical, isn't it?
And retail is really changing finally.
Retail is changing. We're getting some storefronts activated down here. Somerset now is opening up a Somerset Collection studio down here, which will be a permanent installation in the city of Detroit. We're real excited about that.
It'll all, but the people that are in it'll be a permanent space, but it'll rotate the things that are in it, which will be a new store every time you come. Then in that way,
It'll be about storytelling. So our 180 retailers at Somerset will be kind of leasing out this pop-up shop, if you will, but it'll be a permanent installation right here at the base of the Metropolitan Hotel, the Element Hotel here in Detroit, the Metropolitan Building, and we're filling our calendar for 2020 and 21 right now. So retailers will take the space for a week to a month, and they'll storytell the heritage of their brands and their merchandise through storytelling, then activation in the alley and out in the street, and in the 1,500-foot space that's part of the Element Hotel.
That's really exciting.
The big location in Troy, of course. You're going to have
the
Santa,
mothership.
the mothership.
The mothership, of course,
You're gonna
trying
have
to fight the road construction on a daily basis.
Oh, that's so annoying.
It's been pretty tough.
But it's great. Santa Claus is going to be out there for a while.
Santa's there, and Santa's always a big draw out at Somerset, and we usually start booking that about 8 months in advance, and it fills up right away. So that's always a great thing for the kids and the families, and especially at this time of year.
I'm a book nut. tell me about the Somerset Bookshop.
So actually, it was a brainchild of Linda McIntosh, who's our marketing director there at Somerset. And it's a pop-up bookstore. It's on Somerset North on the second level. And we'll house some great books there, and we're going to run it through the holiday season, and it's really a crowd pleaser for the people shopping at the center during that busy holiday time.
Yeah.
I love it.
Somerset Kids Collection.
Yeah.
That's coming up
So
soon.
the kid store, which is a big hit for the kids, and it gives a chance for the parents to take their kids through the kid store and pick out things that work for kids of all ages at Somerset to pick up little trinkets, little toys, great ideas.
Look at that.
And it's a real lovely interaction experience for the kids.
Really great. And we're so grateful that we're giving away Somerset gift cards this morning. So thanks for that. Really
Always our pleasure, and it's always great to see the both of you. And I love the outfit. I hope you bought it at Somerset.
I did, and Taylor, Somerset.
Devin, he has no excuse. What time does that due back?
That's right. Thanks, Dave. It's always good to see you.
Great to see you both. Happy holidays to all.
Let's get over to Everett and Rhonda.
Alrighty, guys, we're certainly going to make a stop there, don't you think?
I'm just saying, I want to emphasize that because all of our local merchants need us in order to still be here.
Absolutely.
And shopping in a mall is so fun, and you may have forgotten if you've done a lot of online shopping. So support Somerset and all of our local merchants.
In fact, we are just moments away from giving away another $250 gift card.
That helps.
To the Somerset Collection. So make sure you download the Local Forecaster's new app, and that will help you get entered for your chance to win big.
I just got a text from my in-laws. I got married this year. I'm very thankful for that. They're up in Sault Ste. Marie, so I want to say hello to the Drumheller family. They're watching us. Of course, we broadcast across cities all across the country, including many cities right here in our state. Do you see Kung Fu Panda, though?
I see a lot of different things over my shoulder here, which means the parade is getting ready to start. But I do want to point out real quick, I've been getting a lot of very not-so-friendly tweets from these distinguished clowns.
The distinguished clowns are nice and wonderful.
Oh,
and great
really?
little kids. They give them, necklaces and beads, and they're beautiful.
They give them ever so gently to them, but apparently they like to throw them at us.
Well, we should get them too. We're kids for today as well.
I hope they go easy on us. Let's certainly hope that. But take a look at the cute kids that are lining up along Woodward Avenue, getting ready for Santa.
I think they see Kung Fu Panda, one of the new floats this year. We are back in a moment as the parade gets ready to begin.
Art Van Furniture has been giving back.
Thank you from Forgotten Harvest to the Art Van family and team. Over the last decade, you've supported families in Southeast Michigan with millions of pounds of food.
Thanks, Art Van, for 60 years of giving.
Welcome back, everybody. Our Meridian Cam, and it is a beautiful view of Woodward, although it looks like there's something missing right in the middle. We see crowds on both sides, but we need to fill the middle.
Yes, we certainly do. It's going to be a beautiful parade, though, nonetheless. It's not too cold, dare we say that?
There's a bit of a wind chill in the air, but if you have the layers on, you're fine, and I think everybody's just warmed up and ready for the parade, which is going to be kicking off in just a few moments. If you look really close, you can see some of the first elements that are getting ready to come. See right there over my right shoulder?
Yes, I see that.
That is a new balloon, and we're looking forward to bringing that to you and so much more. And today is about the balloons, it's about the floats, it's about the marching bands, a parade that is full of everything you need to have a great start to your Thanksgiving morning.
And it's really about the people, too, as we take a look at some of the beautiful faces that are lined up here along Woodward Avenue. We do want to remind you can vote for your favorite school marching band in the Battle of the Band, sponsored by Southeast Michigan Ford Dealers. That's coming up. All you have to do is go to clickondetroit.com to vote, and the winning band gets an incredible trophy, and, of course, they get the bragging rights as well.
Absolutely. The beautiful faces of these kids today. It just warms your heart to see these traditions starting, and our youngest children here in Detroit. We also want to mention we have the Local 4 Morning Report, which you can sign up for as well on clickondetroit.com. We write daily blogs for it, so make sure you take advantage of that. Just a few of the other programming and online advantages of sticking here with Local 4 for all of your news.
Let's get on over to Kimberly and Devin in the clubhouse.
Yeah, ready for a parade?
You guys talking about traditions too. Basil is here for the first Thanksgiving, first parade. Yeah, so I'm just looking forward to having that tradition with my family.
It's really special. So. That's one of the great things about this morning, and that's why we've got people, we're hearing from people watching all over the world online, Detroiters who get to stay connected to this tradition. Thanks to Click on Detroit. So if you're watching from anywhere in the world, great to have you with us. We want to announce the latest winner of a $250 gift card for the Somerset Collection.
That's right. The winner is Robert Ciarlo from Trenton. So congratulations, Robert Ciarlo from Trenton. We've got a big one to give away next. This time it's a $500 $100 Somerset Collection gift card. Enter to win on our website. Click on Detroit.com.
A couple of thank yous that we need to get around. First off, our friends at the Hudson Cafe for feeding our crew this morning, and they put in a hard night's work, so I know they were probably pretty ravenous by the time it was time to feed.
Yeah.
Avalon Bakery and Bedrock, both of them for keeping our performers nice and warm and dry this morning. Thanks to them. Thanks also to Barton Mello for being so accommodating as we're right next to the construction site, the old Hudson site downtown, where this massive skyscraper is starting to take shape. I love that we have to accommodate our way around all of this change, and it's really been that way now for the last couple of years, trying to find space downtown.
That's right. We won't complain because it's the price of progress.
That's right.
All right, the Detroit Youth Choir is kicking off America's Thanksgiving Parade. Next, we'll have that coming up.
Yeah, we're ready to go.
The floats and balloons are ready to go. The marching bands will put on a show. But first, from America's Got Talent, this is the Detroit Youth Choir.
DYC is changing history, breaking rules like it's criminal, taking the stage and flipping the game like it's reciprocal. During the holidays, we thank her for the blessings, but if they second guess it, DYC is coming.
Mama said, mama said, mama said, mama said, mama said, shooting for the stars when I couldn't make a killing. Didn't have a dime, but I always had a vision. Always had high hopes. Had to have high hopes for it. Didn't know how, but I always had a feeling. I was gonna be that one in a minute. Always had high hopes.
Live from downtown Detroit, this is America's Thanksgiving Parade, presented by Art Van.
And welcome to downtown Detroit on this magical Thanksgiving morning. I'm Kimberly Gill.
And I'm Devin Skilly. It's so good to have you with us. That was just terrific, wasn't it?
Yeah, you know, it's just, I just love them.
Loved hearing that. The Detroit Youth Choir has been such a great story. The whole country got behind them with what was going on with America's Got Talent. Got to see what great talent happens here. You know, they rehearse 4 times a week 5 hours at a pop. They're really extraordinary,
Under
aren't
the
they?
direction of Anthony White. They do a fantastic job, and we're so happy that they kicked off the parade for us this morning.
Perfect, and we are so delighted to have you with us from all over the country. Can't wait to get this parade underway. It is the best part of any day in the city of Detroit.
That's right. Ben Bailey will be joining us soon, but first let's get over to Rhonda Walker and Evrod Casimir. Good morning, guys. Hi.
Hey, good morning to you as well.
Happy Thanksgiving. It is so great to be here with you again. I was counting. It's my 16th parade here.
I was counting as well. This is my 7th parade. It's always good to be here.
Oh, but we have never started the parade off with the Detroit Youth Choir. That was incredible.
That was incredible and really capturing the spirit of Detroit. So we certainly love that. Let's kick the parade off, shall we?
Let's do it. With, of course, when we talk about Ford Motor Company, you have to talk about the Mustang, and we have the 2019 Ford Mustang Shelby GT 340R. Oh my goodness, is that a beauty?
Yeah,
this
the 350R. I love it.
Gorgeous, equipped with the most powerful, naturally aspired going engine in Ford history. The GT 350R produces 526 horsepower, 492 pounds of torque from a hand-assembly 5.2-liter flat-plane crank V8 engine. I don't know all I said, but I know I'd like to see that under my Christmas tree.
But yeah, that would be nice, or at least in the garage, right? Let's talk about the 2020 Ford Explorer SD. That is the fastest Explorer ever. It's got 3 rows of seating there, combined with 400 horsepower, 415 foot-pounds of torque, and a top speed of 143 miles per hour. This makes really the perfect roadster if you want to go on a road trip or go up north, whatever
or
you do.
Or just show off at a stoplight. I hear the roar of those engines. That is a really nice car.
Stunt on anybody in front of the stoplights
You
there.
better believe it. And
We
big
love
thanks
it.
to Ford Motor Company for being a part of the parade today and showing off some of the new cars. And
Which one do you prefer?
I think I have room in my garage for both.
I think so too. Why not? But let's take a look at one of the balloons that everybody is so excited for. This is a new balloon. Kung Fu Panda, sponsored by Tryon Solutions.
Yes.
We're so excited to have them as part of the parade. And take a look at that. All the kids are excited for this
Oh
one,
my
too.
goodness. And we should mention in a little bit of wind, it's not easy to handle a big giant Kung Fu Panda. Trillion balloon handlers, some men and women that are all led by Vicki Root, a Tryon payroll specialist who underwent brain surgery recently. So our thoughts are with her and all of the folks here from Tryon that are part of this new element in the parade. Kung Fu Panda.
And let's tell you a little bit more about Tryon. Their corporate headquarters is in Troy, Michigan, and they've helped more than 600 client companies nationwide release the stress and burden of managing HR administration, everything from payroll and taxes and all the like. Let's get on over to Ben, though, down on the ground.
Evrod, we're down here on Woodward, and of course, America's Thanksgiving Parade, synonymous with Art Van. I'm here with Gary Van Elslander. Happy Thanksgiving to you. I know this parade has been a tradition in your family. What's it like to often walk us down Woodward?
It's absolutely phenomenal. Great day today. And, you know, it's a little bit chilly, but there's so many smiling faces that it'll warm any heart. It's really beautiful.
You got the baby sharks behind you.
Baby sharks, and we got lobster, yep, and dolphin.
Fantastic. And I'm sure Art Van, the company, is doing fantastic, right?
Absolutely, doing great. Looking forward to tomorrow.
Happy Thanksgiving and great to see you guys.
Happy Thanksgiving, Ben.
Back to you guys.
Well, there's more sense to the lobsters and sharks than you might think, because right behind them, it's the Christmas Under the Sea, which is a brand new float, and it is sponsored by Art Van Furniture.
Yeah, it's the 110-foot Christmas Under the Sea float. Features 40 different sea creatures. You see them waving there. They've got Santa seahorses and a 30-foot whale with its baby.
It's a 30-foot long whale, but this float also goes 30 feet up, so this thing is enormous. Don't forget the yellow submarine, complete with members of the Art Van Elslander family and Art Van Furniture team members. As they just mentioned, Ben just mentioned, so committed to this parade, have been forever, and they're a huge part of why it's still positioned as the best position in years.
It's beautiful.
29 years ago, Art Van Elslander basically saved the parade, writing a check ensuring that Michiganders would enjoy it for years to come. And in fact, his picture is on one of the signposts, or one of the light posts behind us as well, just as a reminder that he's still very much with us.
We hear him coming right behind us here, playing the music Under the Sea.
Of course.
All right, so next up we've got this awesome band as they dance to all drum cadences here. It's the Marching Vikings. They perform 45-minute stand-up shows 10 times a year in support of local events, including an August show in Lake Cadillac.
They've made the trip from northern Michigan, more than 100 participants strong. It's Mike Filkins last year, by the way, leading the Cadillac Marching Vikings. He's going to be retiring at the end of the school year. Great way, great big centerpiece to have as a part of your final year at the helm.
That's right, and did you know that you can visit the parade studio for a guided tour? How about that? Please visit www.theparade.org for more information on that.
And because we've got the Battle of the Bands going on, we better listen in and check them out. Here they are, the Cadillac Marching Vikings from Cadillac High School. All right, we'll continue with more. America's Thanksgiving Parade continues from Detroit right after this. We are all bundled up in the city of Detroit. It is a cool, crisp Thanksgiving morning here, but much better than what we saw last night. We had lots of rain coming in and then those crazy winds, which proved a challenge for everybody that puts this parade together, but everything cleared out just in time. All the work went on as scheduled, and here we go with America's Thanksgiving Parade.
It's a little chilly, but we've seen worse, so we'll take it.
So many times, no doubt about it. In 93 years, you're going to go through lots of different weather. I love this next float because this was designed by a freshman at Jefferson High School down in Monroe, Carter McAllister. In fact, he and his family today are on the float. I don't know what you're going to do for your next 3 years of high school.
Right.
This is pretty darn good, Carter. But he was the designer of DTE's new America's Thanksgiving Parade float.
Yeah, and the new float, the theme is light, energy, and motion, and the float features more than 30 sculpted LED light bulbs painted with special iridescent paint to make them glow.
And right in the middle of this float, you'll find kind of a mock-up of Beacon Park, which sits at the western part of downtown Detroit, and it's sort of sits astride the DTE headquarters, and they have remade this beautiful stretch of a really activated place in downtown Detroit. All kinds of activity going there all the time, with lots of great family kind of events, music, food, all kinds of things. So Beacon Park has really come alive, and that's why it's a part of the float.
That's right. Good looking float there. Lots of people smiling and waving. So nice to have DTE here, supporting more than 200 community events across the state with premier events just like this one, America's Thanksgiving Parade. All right.
Right behind it, we've got some of the dignitaries, including one of this year's Grand Marshals, and Ben Bailey is with him. Ben.
Yeah, Devin, I'm here with Mr. Mayor, Mr. Archer. It's been a while since you've been mayor here in Detroit, but this place has just shined in the last years. What do you think as you drive down Woodward?
It's outstanding. It's the community, it's the foundations, it's the business community, it's the small businesses and others, and everybody who believes in Detroit, including your great television station, which makes a big difference how people view this city. They want to come in and invest, and it all helps us a great deal.
Appreciate that, and happy Thanksgiving to your grandsons too, right?
Thank you, and my wife is 52.
Trudy, there you go. All right, back to you guys.
All right,
oh my
Ben,
gosh,
thank
so
you.
Great to see the Archer family out with us today.
Absolutely. You know, people say a lot of things about Detroit, and one thing that you can undeniably say about Detroit is that Detroit rocks.
Yes.
In fact, that's the name of this new float, sponsored by 104.3 WOMC. We love that station.
Yes, we do, where you get the greatest hits from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, your favorite pop, rock, and soul, all wrapped up into one. Big shout out to Stephen Clark and Joanne Purton, who wake us up every morning, and Detroit's legend, Jim JJ Johnson on the WOMC float for us today. Right there up front, listen to JJ weekdays starting at 10 a.m.
Absolutely. Tony Superbad Harrison, we need to talk about him. He was born and raised in Detroit. He's a world champion boxer in the 154-pound division, trained by Hall of Famer Stewart. And Tony has a 28-2 record featuring 21 knockouts since his professional debut in 2011. And he's actually be defending his title in December. We should also point out that he's a graduate of Mumford High School there on the float with them.
Absolutely. He's got his big belt around his neck, too, along with Paws and Hooper and Rory and the illustrious distinguished clown on there. We should mention the Team Marie School of Dance. They are dancing around for their 8th year dancing in the parade. We saw them last Friday at Hobnoble Gobble, and they're back here as well.
All right, let's get to our next float, which would be Disco Dogs and Cool Cats, sponsored by Strategic Staffing Solutions. We were talking with them a little bit earlier this morning on Local 4 News Today.
Absolutely. Big shout out to the co-founders of the Strategic Staffing Solutions, Paul Huxley and Cindy Paskey, and their commitment to the Turkey Trot.
It's always good to see them.
Solutions celebrating 30-year anniversary in 2020 and is so happy to have such a great partnership with the parade company over the past 9 years, and just a huge commitment to the city, their entire staff.
You're talking about commitment. They've donated about $36 million to charities in the past 19 years, from 2000 to 2019, and more than 2,000 hours were committed by the Strategic Staffing Solutions leadership on board activities and community events. And you know that they sponsor the Turkey Trot as well, with about 18,000 runners making their way up and down Woodward Avenue.
But we have to mention their love for animals. All of S3's office pets were adopted from the Michigan Humane Society. There's a type of office that allows pets at the office day in and day out. They're committed to it, and you know that by the Disco Dogs and Cool Cats floats. Most recently featuring their dog Dorney, S3 office cat, CTO, Guinness, and Green Bean and Sam, S3's office dog. They're depicted on all of the dogs on this very long float. It just keeps going and going and going.
Pretty cool stuff. Definitely, Kim, over to you.
Well, we've got the next band coming our way, and again, we are trying to get to the bottom of the best marching band in the parade, so we hope you'll vote in the Battle of the Bands. Head to clickondetroit.com, sponsored by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. The winner gets a trophy, which is nice, but more importantly, bragging rights for 2019.
Indeed. This is the All-City Marching Band of Detroit Public Schools Community District, sponsored by Galaxy Solutions. More than 100 members of the All-City Marching Band. They're the best musicians from 7 different Detroit high schools, and they come together to perform this very special group that you see here, and they feature some high-stepping and energetic drum majors as well.
Their motto is excellence in the classroom, excellence on the field, excellence in all that we do, and they're playing a Motown medley. Let's listen in. Galaxy Solutions generously supporting this band. It was about 9 years ago. Galaxy came to Detroit with their Outsource to Detroit initiative, which has been a great success for them, and I think it sort of infected the whole city with that idea.
It really has.
Outsource work to Detroit.
It really has. Okay, we've got more coming up right after the break. Don't forget to vote.
Welcome back to Woodward Avenue in downtown Detroit at America's Thanksgiving Parade. A chilly morning, but nothing but warm feelings and cheer as we celebrate Thanksgiving with one of the great traditions anywhere in America.
Yeah, it's great seeing so many families come out year after year, and I'm excited to start my family and be a part of it too.
Little Basil is here for his first parade. That's fantastic. And here comes, looking out for you, a brand new float this year that's sponsored by the good folks at Huntington Bank.
That's right. We can't forget Huntington's signature welcome. Their fantastic green pens and those vibrant green umbrellas. In fact, they use those umbrellas to walk people to and from their car when it's raining. So.
And this is one of my favorite couples anywhere. That's Jim Brandstatter and Robbie Timmons. Jim, of course, the voice of the Michigan Wolverines. He's just happy to have something to take his mind off of Saturday's big game against Ohio State.
Huge.
And Robbie Timmons, one of the real pioneers in women in broadcasting. Back in Lansing, she became the first woman in the country to anchor the 6 p.m. and 11 p.m. newscast. Then, of course, spent more than 30 years as an anchor here in Detroit before she retired. There she is. And she and Jimbo are just, Brandy are just a fantastic couple and team. And here they are getting to celebrate in the parade.
Yeah, just wonderful. Okay, so now we're going to send things over to Evrod and Rhonda. Hi, guys.
Hey, guys. So great to see Robbie and Jim. Just incredible.
Absolutely.
This is always a special look back in time with the Model T Brigade, sponsored by AbsoPure. Founded right here in Detroit all the way back in 1908 when they used to deliver the water just like that. AbsoPure is one of the top 10 bottled water companies in all of the United States, but Detroit born.
Yes, and it's a family-owned company. So Patrick Young, a third-generation leader serving as vice president of AbsoPure, is actually driving this special and historic vehicle today, so it's pretty cool.
We should talk about that. The AbsoPure Vintage Model T delivery truck was originally used to deliver bottled water to Detroit homes and businesses in the early 1900s, and it's still running. It's a very well-made car there.
Yeah, capable of reaching about 45 miles an hour, and more than 15 million of these Model Ts were built here in Detroit and in Highland Park. So we certainly thank AbsoPure for keeping volunteers and the parade company hydrated throughout the year. Wouldn't it be cool to get water delivered like that?
Well, not quite like that, but a lot of homes, a lot of businesses, including my own, get AbsoPure delivered that way, and it's a way to conserve on all the bottled water by using your own cups and glasses at home.
Absolutely. Right.
So big thanks to AbsoPure for being so supportive year after year. And
we
next
do
up,
want to give a big thanks to Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans for sponsoring this next float. It's called A Home for Your Dreams. It's actually a new float in the parade this year. So a big shout out to Dan Gilbert and the whole Quicken Loans team and Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans as well.
Absolutely. In this float, we see 2 Detroit children in the safety and security of their family home, dreaming of the positive impact that they'll have on the city. And the float combining whimsical imagery with some of Detroit's most iconic landmarks. It's just so cool. The float shows how Rocket Mortgage is working not only to provide opportunity for Detroit's children, but helping families across America enjoy the stability of home ownership. The home on the back of the float stands more than 25 feet high. So talk about doing things bigger and better with new floats. And also Joe Louis Monument, giving the spectators a visual or virtual fist pump.
And let's also talk about who's on the float. Isaac Ryan Brown, originally from Detroit, and got his big break at the age of 6 when he dazzled audiences on America's Got Talent. Kind of sensing a theme here. America's Got Talent has a lot of talent in the parade.
In Detroit.
Isaac is currently starring as Raven's son in the highly rated Disney series Raven's Home. So a big hello to him and everybody that's on this float.
And we can't mention Rocket Mortgage and Quicken Loans without mentioning its founder and chairman, Dan Gilbert. We want to wish you and your entire family a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you for all you've done for the city of Detroit.
Down to Ben.
Evrod, did somebody say Rocket Mortgage? I am with the champion of the Rocket Mortgage Classic. I'm here with Nate Lashley, and he is hitting golf balls into the crowd. There goes. Oh, is this a 9-iron, Nate?
Hey, I'm just hitting a little wedge out there. This is a lot of fun. This is great. I'm happy to be here. I'm so appreciative of Quicken Loans, Rocket Mortgage, to put me out here today. This is wonderful.
So you led all 4 rounds. You won by what, 6 strokes, right?
Yeah, I did. It was one of those weeks, just one of those dream weeks, you know. Couldn't ask for more from the city of Detroit, the people, Detroit Golf Club. Everything was wonderful, and for my first win, I couldn't be happier.
All right, thank you, Nate. Happy Thanksgiving. Go shoot some more. Some people are going to get these lucky golf balls, guys. Devin and Kim, back to you.
I know you're thinking, who thought it was a good idea to hit golf balls into the crowd? These are plastic or rubber balls that they've practiced and tested to the nth degree.
Right.
And a lot of people get to take home some really cool souvenirs.
Yeah, people are trying to catch them there, jumping all over each other. Okay, time for our next band here, all the way from Lorain, Ohio. Let's welcome the Titans Marching Band under the direction of Tim Civic. The Titans, they're 138th participants have performed all over the country.
I mentioned it's an interesting week for the state of Ohio and the state of Michigan. We got a big game coming up, a big game coming up on Saturday, but the hospitality, I know, for the Lorraine Titans has been fantastic. They're playing Sleigh Ride, and they have performed all over the place. The Washington, D.C. Cherry Blossom Festival, the National Puerto Rican Day Parade in New York City, and the Chicago Lights Festival Parade, too.
Let's listen a little bit, and don't forget to vote.
Civic, and you've got your 138 marchers in fine fashion. They've got a lot coming up as well. They've got performances including Disney World's Once Upon a Christmas Time Parade, which will be great fun, and Universal Studios Orlando Holiday Parade. So they're going to be spending the holidays down in Florida after spending this one with us.
That's right. And again, we won't hold it against them that they're from Ohio.
It's not their fault.
All right, we've got much more to come here on America's Thanksgiving Parade. More bands, more crowds, more everything, more fun. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the great city of Detroit with Kimberly Gill. I'm Devin Skillian, and we've got a couple 100,000 of our closest friends lining Woodward Avenue as we bring you America's Thanksgiving Parade on a chilly, but fortunately dry Thursday morning.
And not as breezy as what we saw yesterday.
As my grandfather liked to say, it was so windy the chickens were laying the same egg twice. Great to have you back here with us as we watch this beautiful tradition make its way for the 93rd time down Woodward Avenue.
That's right, and without further ado, let's go ahead and see our next float and what we have down on the ground on Woodward. This is the, do we have it?
The DAAS. Choir, A Little More Music, and this is sponsored by the Lear Corporation under the direction of Angela Key. This is a choir from the Detroit Academy of Arts and Sciences back for another performance, and they are sitting in Lear seats that you'll find in cars and SUVs all over the world.
Let's listen.
Day and age where you can't drive 2 blocks without seeing somebody doing the wrong thing behind the wheel. It's a great reminder. That song, by the way, comes to us from the composer and legendary jingle writer, the great Dan Yessian, who partnered with the parade company on putting Not in My Car together.
Okay, our next float is called Focus on the Drive, sponsored by the Lear Corporation. We actually saw this one last year. It debuted last year with a goal of educating everybody on the dangers of distracted driving. They've got 7 distracted gremlins on the float, not to mention all of the other distractions.
Everything competing for our attention
Yeah,
these days behind
cameras,
the wheel. There's no
phones.
doubt about it. We're actually sitting about a block from the Innovation Center for Lear Corporation. The CEO, Ray Scott. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody at Lear. But this thing is massive. In fact, there's an ice cream scoop coming along here that you'll see. It would feed about 500 people. In fact, the sprinkles are 4 inches long.
My goodness.
So that's how big everything
and the
is.
larger than life coffee mug there would hold more than 200 gallons of coffee.
Really good. Let's get back down to Ben Bailey.
Kim and Devin, I know what I want to be for Halloween. Look at this. It's Optimus Prime, and he is tall. This food is sponsored by TCF Bank. And TCF this year merged with Chemical Bank, creating a nearly $50 billion bank, and they are headquartered right here in Detroit. Last year, the company announced it will move its headquarters to downtown Detroit in an effort to reinvest in the dynamic growth and success of the city. TCF is constructing a new 20-story tower. Whoa, hold on. Optimus wants to take a nap, apparently, right here on Woodward. There he goes. He's standing back up. Crisis averted. Evrod and Rhonda.
Man, oh man, it is a windy one this morning.
It is not easy to hold up a big giant transformer. Come on, this thing is huge.
Everything's going around. But take a look at this, and I do mean take a look at this. Sponsored by SVS Vision, this is a float called Look Forward. And this is actually SVS 3rd year in the parade. We certainly look forward to seeing them again next year. But an amazing float that features kids ziplining over many of the remarkable landmarks across Michigan. How cool is that, Rhonda?
Absolutely. Founded in 1974 in Sterling Heights, SVS Vision is committed to providing quality American-made workmanship at affordable prices. They'll manufacture 350,000 pairs of glasses at their Mount Clemens manufacturing facility this year. That's pretty impressive.
It certainly is, and this is a beautiful float at that. You can see all of the things that make Detroit great in it. SVS Vision's current owners are Ken Stan and Ron Farrell. Stan and Farrell purchased the company in 2007. Stan is a certified public accountant and a Wayne State graduate from Madison Heights, Michigan. And Farrell is a University of Michigan grad and a U.S. Navy veteran, a doctor of optometry in Traverse City, Michigan. So they know a thing or two.
They do. 80 offices and counting, and we hope to see SVS Vision back again next year. Thanks for committing to 10 years with us.
We'll be right back.
And we are going to be back with much more of America's Thanksgiving Parade after the break. Stay with us.
Oh, look at that!
This is how it looks if you're Santa Claus.
Well, that's better than last year. We saw a different angle of.
Yes. You're still, if you're Santa, you're still going to be looking at the south end of a northbound reindeer
There
a
you
lot.
go.
That's kind of how it goes.
That's a nice way of putting it.
But we got the elves out there, and that's the big moment, of course, that so many of the kids are waiting for. Santa always the big climactic moment at the end of this parade. But we got a lot to go before we get to that. That's for sure. Plenty of parade left as it makes its way down Woodward Avenue, as it does every Thanksgiving in Detroit.
Okay, let's take a look at our next float. It is called Creating Tomorrow Together. It's a new one sponsored by the Ford Motor Company. And they're going to have some surprise.
Oh, look, here they come.
Some scooters there coming out first of the train station there, zipping out there.
That train station that you see at the back of the float is a replica of the Michigan Central Station. which is right now undergoing a massive renovation to become Ford's Center of Innovation in the Corktown area of downtown Detroit. It's a project that Detroiters are watching with great anticipation and excitement. But Ford is thinking about the future constantly. In fact, just 2 weeks ago, unveiling the brand new Mustang with an electric version of a Mustang. How about that?
It's sweet indeed, and this of course highlights Ford's commitment to Detroit and Southeast Michigan there. This float has more than 100 feet long, 28 feet tall. It features a view of the company's innovation. You mentioned products, services, and autonomous vehicles. You can see the Mustang back there. The Ford F-150, I believe, is somewhere on there as well. Just a good-looking float.
We also want to quickly wish Ford Fund President Jim Vella all the best. Jim is retiring from Ford in December, and his passion for the community, we see it all the time with not everything that happens with Ford, but the way that it extends into the community, not just the parade, the Ford fireworks, which take over the Detroit River every June, the Ford Resource and Engagement Centers, on and on and on. So Jim, congratulations on your retirement, and thanks for years and years of great work in Detroit.
We wish you very well. Okay, let's head over to Ben now.
Hey guys, these heroes do wear capes. You're looking at Camp Casey's Hero Herd, and these horses actually spend their summers traveling around to the homes of kids who are too sick to get out and enjoy the summer. So they actually bring the horses to the kids, which is phenomenal. This is Camp Casey's founder, Molly Reeser, is marching on foot in front of the horses here. In 2004, she founded Camp Casey while she was a student at Michigan State University and working part-time on a farm. So beautiful round of horses here on Woodward, guys.
Oh,
Ben, thank you.
Beautiful.
We love seeing them every single year.
Yes, we do.
What you're looking at right now is called the Path to Wellness. This float is sponsored by Henry Ford Health System. And this float includes a lot of fun depictions of healthcare at really every age and stage, with some high-tech robotic procedures, 3D printed hearts, innovative researchers, doctors who can video chat with patients, regular exercise routines, and yoga.
It's just incredible, all that they do, and the innovations in medical care, DNA strands, and the all for you message woven throughout means Henry Ford Healthcare is built just for one person, and that is you. And waving to the crowd from Henry Ford Health System, Dr. Nancy White, Primary Care Sports Medicine, Dr. Patricia Kolovich, the Fellowship Director of Orthopedic Sports Medicine.
Christina Ayers, the Director of Athletic Training and Community Outreach, and Randolph Fry, Sports Medicine Orthopedics patient. He's actually a student athlete and an All-American recipient at Adrian College.
And we want to give a shout out to the colorful costume walkers. They represent Henry Ford's 30,000 plus caregivers who work throughout Michigan and that took care of me this summer. So a big thanks to Henry Ford Health System for all that they do. Their 100-year history here in Detroit.
Kimberly and Devin, over to you.
And about how long these floats are getting. There's another one that just keeps stretching for blocks, it seems. All right, let's get to our next marching band, Kim.
Yeah, this is the Woodhaven High School Warrior Marching Band. It's the largest student group at Woodhaven High School. They receive consistent first division ratings at various marching band festivals, and they are under the direction of Bradley Farinaires. And let's listen, they're going to be playing Michael.
To a break, but we'll continue with America's Thanksgiving Parade from downtown Detroit next.
Welcome back, everybody, to America's Thanksgiving Parade here in the lovely downtown Detroit, the 93rd annual. And look at our beautiful city as we take a look at the Detroit River and straight up Woodward Avenue, the iconic Woodward Woodward Avenue. And take a look who's coming. The Distinguished Clown Corps, sponsored by UHY, 180 members of our Detroit community. These are CEOs and all types of Detroit leadership throughout the metro area that doll up as clowns.
No!
And throw beads out into the crowd.
No, here's the thing.
Including to us. I always just hide my head behind Efron, so I rarely ever get hit.
It's a love-hate relationship.
I just
with
reap
these
the benefits.
clowns.
But we should mention the Distinguished Clown Corps. They're just amazing. The Grand Jester.
Nope.
The Grand Jester
They
is
think they're
Joe
hitting us.
Black, a 10-year clown. We have some clowns out here that have been with us for 33 years. Austin Cantor, 33 years. Hi, Carl. Carl Bentley from S3. I recognize him. Normally I don't recognize these distinguished clowns. Also, Maggie Allison, 31 years at Detroit Clown Corps. We are so thankful for her, the Distinguished Clown Corps, I should say. She's riding a Mustang this year.
I do want to give a shout out to Vivian Picard, one of our friends who's a distinguished clown this year. And also, let's give a shout out to Michigan CEO Tom Callan and his family, as well as Tony.
Yes.
These are getting heavier every
Tom
single year.
is a wonderful accountant, actually my personal accountant, the CEO of the Michigan UHY. We should also give a shout out to Tony Ferbata, the UHY chairman here in Michigan. Thank you so much for your commitment, and to the Distinguished Clown Corps for giving us all of these wonderful beads.
They didn't get us this year.
Too cute.
But let's take a look at this float. It's called All Kids Deserve the Best. It's sponsored by Children's Hospital of Michigan. And riding on the float this year are pediatric nurse practitioners Courtney Mazur and Dominique Ronda. And you can take a look at the float itself, and there you see Clowny.
Clowny, always in effect, right? Walking alongside the float in bright colored lab coats and scrubs are members of the Children's Hospital of Michigan healthcare team. We're so thankful for all of them. They're celebrating the first Children's Hospital of Michigan becoming the newest with the complex, the completion of a 6-story, $155 million complex located right here in Midtown in the heart of the medical area with the neonatal, pediatric, and cardiac intensive care units and private rooms. And Children's Hospital of Michigan is just dynamic. Signature characters like Jake and Ellie, and you can check out the 8-foot panda and the beautiful dragonflies and butterflies and just all of those things that try to comfort children at a time when it's very difficult for children and families.
Absolutely,
So
and
we're
let's
so
say
thankful.
a special happy Thanksgiving to Luanny Wall, the CEO of Children's Hospital. Thank you for all that you do in the community. And then coming up after the parade this year, stay tuned to WDIV at noon for the Children's Hospital of Michigan's Thanksgiving special, featuring some of the remarkable kids and world-class experts that are all working together.
You know, established 133 years ago, the Children's Hospital of Michigan is the first hospital in the state dedicated exclusively to the treatment of children, and they work miracles
They
there.
certainly do. Let's get on down to Ben.
Efron and Rhonda, you know this guy. And you know, when I was growing up, for the longest time, I think, well, this is just a red cookie monster. But it's not. It's Elmo. And I just found out that his original name was actually Baby Monster. But now he's got his own name. And of course, he's got a lot of merchandise deals, and he's one of the most famous residents of Sesame Street. He actually lives on the 3rd floor, believe it or not. Mom Gladys. His father is Louis Monster. And do you know his sister's name is actually Daisy? I didn't know this. I've learned the entire Elmo family tree as he is floating down Woodward. Looks majestic. Thank goodness the winds have calmed down just a little bit. Elmo is sponsored by Ford Motor Company, Art Van Furniture, DT Foundation, Blue Cross Blue Shield Foundation of Michigan, Huntington Bank, Lear Corporation, and 98.7 The Breeze.
Oh, we love Elmo.
No doubt about it. And we're so glad that the winds died down, so we got a chance to enjoy the balloons. It's such a big part of the morning, and that was just terrific. And Sesame Street, of course, celebrating a huge anniversary this year.
All right, our next float, Smile Safari, sponsored by Delta Dental of Michigan. You can see here safari animals brushing their teeth, flossing their teeth to maintain those healthy, wild smiles.
Well, you never know when National Geographic might show up.
You got to have your teeth
have those pearly
healthy.
whites
That's
lined up.
Exactly right. When we get here on the back, you'll see the Molar Cycle is delivering books for a healthy mind. It's a great float.
And we've got Delta Dental of Michigan employees. They're in tiger, beaver, and walrus costumes as well. Established in 1957, Delta Dental's been making Michigan smile for more than 60 years. And they're bringing a lot of smiles today.
One big mama molar bear. I was going to say they're reading to her cubs about the tooth fairy and other tooth traditions around the world.
And riding on the float from Delta, Margaret Trimmer and Jeff Johnson. Great to have them with us. Margaret, I've known Margaret for years. Just so wonderful, and she's been a big part of this partnership at Delta Dental of Michigan.
Really involved in our community too. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more floats and more fans and more crowds, more everything when America's Thanksgiving Parade, presented by Art Van, continues.
We hope Thanksgiving is off to a great start around your house. As you can see, it's off to a fantastic, annually fantastic start in downtown Detroit. We're watching from the windows up there, including, that's where Basil is, right?
You're exactly right, where it's nice and warm,
yes,
toasty.
Nice and cozy.
That's great. I love all the smiles, people waving and just having a great time. All right, time for our next float. This is Warrior Strong, sponsored by Wayne State University.
For more than 150 years now, Wayne State University has been one of the nation's premier research universities right in the heart of Detroit. And what a spectacular moment it was earlier this fall when they announced their free tuition initiative. Just extraordinary. Free tuition for anyone graduating from a Detroit high school. An announcement that came with from President Roy Wilson, Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Mayor Mike Duggan were there that day. It was just an epic moment for the city of Detroit.
It really is. The float's theme, Warrior Strong, is a motto that Wayne State students and alumni try to live out each day in the classrooms, boardrooms, labs, and medical centers, as well as on stage here. And you see people there in their caps and gowns and just having a good time.
And aboard there helping celebrate some of the best and brightest, including Stuart Baum, Daniel Ororowo, Leslie Ortiz, and Noor Suleiman.
Nearly 27,000 students from around the world currently attend Wayne State University, making it one of the nation's most diverse and vibrant campuses.
And I love these bigger-than-life superheroes on board with their giant warrior shields as the marchers alongside us.
You can vote for best choreography around the float at clickondetroit.com. Give your favorite parade marchers a shout-out by voting now. Just click on Detroit.com.
You see that there on the right side of your screen, that's kind of an odd wall that these marchers have to contend with, but that's how it is in downtown Detroit right now. Construction all over the place. That's a massive skyscraper that's going up right next to them, but they don't seem to mind.
No, we don't mind a bit.
Well, we're just thrilled with all the traditions that this is a part of for Detroit. 93 years now that this has been the tradition in the city of Detroit, and we're glad that you're celebrating it with us
And
today.
you've been here for 90 of them?
Almost, yeah. Missed the first 3. Actually,
25.
my 25th year this year of covering the parade. Yeah,
and I've been here 3. Well, my third one covering the parade, but been here 5 years, and I'm just happy to start the tradition with my family.
And Basil's first year.
That's right.
Your son. That's really fantastic. Let's get back down to the parade route where the Mid-American Pom Pom All-Star team is making their way down Woodward.
Yeah, that's right. 33 years they have participated in the parade. This year's team is the largest that they've ever had, with 215 girls. And next summer they're going to be performing in Disneyland.
And we point out they really only get to rehearse together once, because this really is an all-star squad. Folks coming all over the place. Really great.
Okay, there's much more to come, more excitement for Michigan viewers. But right now, we'd like to say goodbye to our audience from around the country.
So glad you were able to share this Thanksgiving tradition with us. On behalf of Kimberly Gill, Ben Bailey, Everett Cassidy, Rhonda Walker, and everyone here in the great city of Detroit, I'm Devin Skillian, wishing you lots of fun and hope you've got many blessings to count this Thanksgiving.
All right, for everyone else, the magic continues.
Let's stay with it as the Pom Pom Squad. I just mentioned earlier, it's so crazy to me that they only have one day to rehearse this routine, and this is one of several that they do up and down the route. They always get us started with their routine that they do just beyond our window.
And they nail it every time.
It's just, I guess that's part of what it takes to be an all-star.
Right, 215 girls this year, the largest that they've ever had. All right, and it's right there on time. Just look at them. I couldn't do it.
But they're the lucky ones because, you know, I often think that it's tougher to sit in the stands on a cold morning
Sure,
than it
right.
is to
That's
march.
a good
At least
point.
you get to be moving.
That's right. You warm up your bones that way, moving around and jumping as much as they do.
Yeah, find a way to stay warm. That's all what it's all about, and that's why it's nice that the grandstands are so full. A lot of close contact, which will keep you warm on a chilly morning. But we, as you mentioned earlier, we've had a lot worse weather, that's for sure. Let's celebrate, you know, as a native Kansan.
This is your favorite
I'm
one.
always into the Wizard of Oz, and I'm even more into it because it's sponsored by WDIV and your friends at Local 4 and clickondetroit.com.
Just ease on down Woodward Avenue. We're off to see the Wizard here. This multi-platform float features an Emerald Castle Vegas style, a tin man with a beating heart and a cowardly lion. And you'll see a real-life Dorothy. We saw a couple of shots of her just a moment ago on her float with her little dog Toto. Katie Morris is Dorothy, and she has never missed a parade. This is number 21, I believe.
She's 21 and it's her 21st parade. That's a pretty darn good record. That's better than mine.
That's great.
Now, 2020 though is going to be a huge year for WDIV Local 4. We're so excited. We've got the Olympics coming back. They will be coming to us from Tokyo. That's coming up in July, and I'm, as you know, an Olympic nut, so I just cannot wait to get another Olympiad going.
So much going on. We've been talking about how the summer is just going to be jam-packed with things that the station is doing, and the Olympics is one of them.
And the auto show moving to the summer this year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So excited. Dancing around the float there are members of Deborah's Stage Door. The group is under the direction of Deborah Agrusa, and they were the 2019 National Dance Champions there.
So let's head over to Everett and Rhonda. What are you seeing?
Yes, let's take a look at our next float, guys. Sponsored by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. This is called A Confident Life, and on the float, they're accompanied by some very energetic Blue Cross employees.
Well, let's talk about this float. It spans more than 100 feet and features healthy activities for Michiganders of all ages, which Blue Cross is celebrating its 80th year and its commitment to making sure that everyone in Michigan can lead a confident life by being active, eating healthy, and getting regular checkups. The eating healthy part, maybe we'll take just one day off.
We're taking the day off, but we do want to say a special happy Thanksgiving to the president and CEO of Blue Cross, Mr. Dan Lepp, who currently serves as the chair of the Parade Foundation.
Yes, we thank him for his commitment to the parade. And one of this year's, we should say, Blue Cross's float on it this year is Cole Winchevsky from Farmington Hills. Cole is carrying the ceremonial game ball for today's Detroit Lions game at Ford Field. We got to get fired up for the Lions. He received this once-in-a-lifetime experience because he won the My Kids Can Turkey Day VIP sweepstakes. So big congratulations to him and his family. They're going to be representing and hopefully bringing our Detroit Lions good luck today.
And here's the thing, Blue Cross, they are so committed to kids' health and wellness initiatives across the state. They've given more than $6.5 million, reaching almost 340,000 children in more than 750 schools. This is over the last 14 years. So we certainly appreciate them for their commitment to health. Let's get on down to bed.
Everett and Rhonda, this is the Trojan Marching Band from Monroe High School. Of course, they sound fantastic, but check out their brand new uniforms that they're sporting as well. These guys go to more than 7 parades a year, and they are very excited that they're going to be performing in New York City in the spring of 2020. There's more than 100 people in this marching band as they march down Woodward, and they are under the direction of Joseph Seenke. So let's listen in. And don't forget to vote for your favorite school marching band in our Battle of the Bands. That is at clickondetroit.com, sponsored by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Winners get trophy and bragging rights for all of 2019 and beyond. Kevin and Kim, back to you.
All right, bragging rights indeed. That's what it's all about, being able to brag that you won. And speaking of winning, you could win a Somerset Collection giveaway.
It's time for our next giveaway, and it could be $500, which would come in very handy during the holiday season. So you'll enter to win through our local forecasters app, and you can start doing that right now. Get your entry in because we'll be announcing the winner coming up here very, very soon.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this.
For 60 years, Art Van Furniture has been giving back.
Thank you from Forgotten Harvest to the Art Van family and team. Over the last decade, you've supported families in Southeast Michigan with millions of pounds of food.
Thanks, Art Van, for 60 years of giving.
He gets closer and closer and closer. There's our shot from the Santa Cam. The elves are making their way down Woodward, and that means Santa and the reindeer are too.
He's giving shout-outs to people in the crowd. Look at him waving there. Santa Claus.
Oh, there we go.
Little elves there. Yeah, he's getting closer and closer, and we are just about halfway through, or a little more than halfway through.
Yeah, a little more than half now.
Yeah, the parade, it goes by fast. Time flies.
It certainly does. I don't know if it does if you're one of the WDIV cameramen or women out there right now.
They've been working hard.
They certainly have. Let's get back down to Ben Bailey. Ben.
I mean, Devin, tell you, every year this is one of my favorite floats, and it's the Skillman Foundation. It changes every year because every year there's one Detroit school kid who gets to design this float, and this year the winner is standing right in front. I'm with Malaya Johnson. Malaya, you're a fifth grader, right? And tell us a little bit about this float.
This float happened because our art teacher was like, we're doing this, so do it.
That's as good a reason as any. And what did you think when you finally saw it?
Very shocked and very happy, very excited for Thanksgiving.
Well, happy Thanksgiving to you. All these kids had to get up at 6 a.m. this morning, so it has been a very long day. I'm with Tanya Allen from the Skillman Foundation. The float looks fantastic, and I know you guys were part of a huge initiative this year, right?
Yeah. So we are working really hard to make sure that after school is available to all of the kids in Wayne County.
Well, the float looks fantastic, and happy Thanksgiving to you. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Ben. And something new floating in the sky.
Wow.
Take a look at this, a regal eagle soaring, and it is absolutely gorgeous. This is from Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. We thank them so much for being a part of the parade, and to see this in person, it is just magnificent.
This is so
it spans
cool.
almost the entire width of Woodward Avenue.
You could almost just let that thing go, let it fly right up in
Well,
the
here's
sky.
a fun fact. Did you know that the turkey was almost chosen as the United States national bird?
But we decided to eat it instead. This is so cool. This regal eagle soars 60 feet high, and if you're close enough, it almost looks like the wings are flapping at that. So Soaring Eagle Casino Resort in Mount Pleasant is owned by their Saginaw Chippewa Indian tribes. We certainly thank them for being a part of the parade. But speaking of birds, let's welcome Mother Goose. Along with Mother Goose are the Detroit Goodfellows under the direction of Sari Clark Schneider. We certainly thank them for being a part of the parade as well.
The Detroit Goodfellows have been serving Detroit kids for over 105 years. We love the Goodfellows. They're going to be contributing, or distributing, I should say, 30,000 holiday boxes in 2019. Boxes that include everything that children need. Meat, warm clothing, toys, books, games, candy. 9,000 girls aged 4 to 9 will receive hand-dressed dolls as well, made by many folks and many different businesses throughout the Metro Detroit area. So we thank them.
And then riding on the float are Snow Johnson, Miss Michigan USA 2020 from Southfield. And then Anissa Shake, Miss Teen Michigan USA 2020. She's from Bloomfield. Both of them are waving there on the Mother Goose float.
Looking beautiful and not even cold.
Right.
And also joining in on the fun, the Shenanigans Clowns. They were busy this morning putting on makeup on all of the distinguished clowns. So we thank them very much. They're actually the ones who know a thing or two about how to put on makeup. They're clowns every day.
And these are the nice ones, because I don't see any beads with them.
But they help with all the makeup and getting all of our distinguished clowns ready, and we thank them so much for being here on the Mother Goose float.
Devin and Kimberly, over to you.
You guys are out of the shrapnel zone with that group. That's really good.
All right, let's hear it for Shinola Detroit as they march down Woodward Avenue here. This is the Timekeepers of Detroit, of course, sponsored by Shinola Detroit, coming together from headquarters, retail stores, and the beautiful new Shinola Hotel. More than 125 team members and their families making their way down the parade route there, as you see, and we even have a few of them riding on Shinola bicycles.
And I'll assume they've each got a Shinola strapped to their wrist.
Let's hope so.
Exactly
so.
right.
As do you.
As I do, yes. Shinola proud to be headquartered in Detroit, a city that has always been so celebrated for its creative spirit and its strong legacy of hard work, and classic American city, which is all the better that they're bringing this 30-foot by 60-foot American flag down Woodward.
Yeah, certainly the signature of their presence today, that beautiful flag. The company is, of course, known for its well-made timepieces, premium leather goods, and unwavering commitment to building things that last. And we want to thank them, too, for hosting our broadcast earlier this morning at the restaurant at the break.
Exactly right. Let's get to our next marching band. These are the Marching Stallions from Sterling Heights High School, and they are under the direction of Anthony Imbranoni. The 113-member Sterling Heights High School marching band, comprised of a very dedicated and hardworking group of students.
Yeah, the music program strives to cultivate life skills such as teamwork, goal setting, responsibility, and communication through music education. The song that they are playing today, Get Ready. Let's listen a little bit.
But it's up to you as to who's leading the battle of the bands. Make sure you vote through our weather forecasters app on Local 4.
You can get it by downloading it in the App Store. Just search WDIP. We'll be right back with more from America's Thanksgiving Parade.
From downtown Detroit, a look from our Meridian cam as we look up Woodward Avenue, which has just been filled with so many smiling faces, lots of warmth on a chilly Thanksgiving morning, and we're so glad, all of us at Local 4 are so glad that you're spending us with us, as so many do every year. We're getting so many messages this morning from people who just celebrate the fact that this is their tradition and their family.
It's a wonderful tradition, and great floats, great activities like this one. This is the half pipe, sponsored by the Detroit News. This awesome half pipe is Detroit News is proud to be a sponsor of it. They're a longtime sponsor of America's Thanksgiving Parade, presented by Art Van. The News actually has been covering what matters most to Metro Detroit and beyond since 1873.
Big thanks to Modern Skate. They're the ones providing the awesome entertainment on this float. And we were talking about the Olympics earlier. You know, this year, skateboarding, an Olympic sport in Tokyo in 2020.
You know,
it's going to be fantastic.
And it's great because skating, it gives a great means of exercise for young people that maybe don't necessarily fit into team sports.
That's right.
So that's just awesome. Glad to have them back. Let's head over to Ben now.
He just took his turn on the half pipe, so now he's back off it.
Well, I wanted to be up there, guys. Kim and Devin, we have some true veterans in this parade, and this is one of them. For some reason, I want to sing Hazy's Shade of Winter every time I introduce them, but this is the Salvation Army Band, and it has been one of the mainstays here in the America's Thanksgiving Parade, presented by Art Band. About 75 marchers playing the brass, the timbrel, and the percussion instruments, of course, also carrying the flags up front. The 2019 Red Kettle Campaign, you see these guys all over town, raising money, and their fundraising goal this year is $8 million. Last year, the Salvation Army of Metro Detroit helped provide 2.5 million meals, over 500,000 nights of shelter, and 224,000 Christmas gifts for children and seniors. Rod and Rhonda, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Ben. Let's take a look at our next float. This is the S3 Turkey Trot. This is Strategic Staffing Solutions, one of the largest races here in Michigan. And there were, 18,000 runners, many of them dressed in some awesome costumes that hit the street, Woodward Avenue. Yeah, they got all the calories burned out of the way as they get ready to eat their big Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, we should say for nearly a decade, S3 has partnered with the annual Turkey Trot race. In 2015, S3 took over as a title sponsorship, and they have never looked back. S3 also has distinguished clown Carl Bentley, who we saw earlier. He loves the tradition and the commitment that S3 has to the city of Detroit.
Yes, we certainly love them, and we should point out on the float, Darren Anderson, who is United States Navy veteran turned business and personal growth influencer, as well as a speaker and an author. And he's most well known for being on E! Network's Revenge Body and from his time as a disc jockey in the San Diego area on 89.1 FM.
Well, here's one of our favorite balloons.
Tra-la-la!
Captain Underpants, sponsored by Buddy's Pizza and Potbelly Sandwich Shop. Hello, everybody. This is definitely one of our favorites and has really stood the test of time. He's been flying over Woodward for many years.
But I'd be freezing cold if I was only wearing underpants this morning.
Tell
but
me
apparently
about
it doesn't really matter for Captain Underpants. And it's a good thing that he's here because he is the alter ego of Principal Krupp from the award-winning series known as Captain Underpants, and a series that includes 12 books and 10 spin-offs translated into more than 30 different languages.
Well,
maybe the cape keeps him a little warm.
The villains of the Captain Underpants series include Dry Diaper, which is always important, but big thanks to Buddy's Pizza and Potbelly's Sandwich Shop.
Guys, over to you.
Very good. All right, thanks,
Kimberly,
guys.
you have learned that happiness is a dry diaper, don't you think?
Who are you telling?
Nothing you don't know. Let's get to our next band. They come to us from Allen Park, and that, of course, is the Allen Park High School Marching Band.
Yeah, over the years, the band has performed countless grand openings in the Metro Detroit area. They are under the direction of Chrissy Kruger, and they include 96 members. Today they're playing I Feel Good. Let's listen. Talent agency for jobs from choir, jazz band, percussion section, marching band, and it offers a great experience for students to see how the entertainment business works.
How many marching bands can say, talk to my agent, right?
That's right, exactly.
Back with more, live from downtown Detroit next. No snow, but Santa keeps getting closer, and it's cold enough for snow. There we go. Oh, you're throwing beats back. Nicely done.
We don't have to do anything illegal to get those beats here.
Not down here.
Nice and family friendly here at America's Thanksgiving Parade.
That's Rod and Rhonda, and of course, yes, we can always tell just how many they got hit by because that's what ends up coming back. We're so glad that you're starting this Thanksgiving morning with us. We want to get back down to Ben. We're going to celebrate Rosie the Riveter. My grandmother, Levada Mueller, was a Rosie the Riveter in Evansville, Indiana, which is the hometown of one Ben Bailey. Ben?
And yes, the old Whirlpool plant out there on Morgan Avenue. I know that place well, Devin. We are here with two of the original Rosies. Virginia Basler in this car, Pat Duncan in the other car. Virginia is 96 years young. She worked at the Willow Run Bomber Plant in World War II, where she drilled holes and rivets for the B-24. And then later, she became one of 11,000 women to join the all-female Coast Guard Reserve. On the other side, Pat Duncan was born in 1925, and she signed up to work at the Willow Run Bomber Plant on her 18th birthday. Although she was pretty young for factory work, she was raised on a farm and had the strength and steadiness to wield that rivet gun with ease. And behind both of those ladies, you have the Rosie's performing Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy and God Bless America, so flex your muscles when they walk by. Everett and Rhonda?
Incredible.
Very much,
And I'd like
Ben.
to give a shout out to my great Aunt Ruth. She was a Rosie the River.
Was she really?
Yeah, she's passed away, but it's definitely something our family's very proud of.
Absolutely. So, Rhonda, take a look at this. This is the equestrian, the Genesee County Chupacabra 4-H Horse Club, which trains English and Western riding, as well as humping, bareback, and speed, and a whole lot more.
From their youngest riders, called the Clover Buds, to 16-year-olds, riders own or lease their own horses and do more than just ride. They are part of the horse's day-to-day care, as well as their routine vet and dentist and farrier care. So big thanks to them. There are more than 200,000 members across the state.
All right, so this, I think, is one of my favorite floats here. It is the Detroit Jazz Festival floats, because you know I love music.
Yes.
And this is, I believe, Detroit's true jewel, in fact. And as you know, every Labor Day weekend, Detroit really comes alive, I guess you could say, on the international stage when thousands of people are gathered right here in the heart of our great city for one of the world's premier cultural events and the world's largest free jazz festival.
Absolutely.
It's a great event.
And it doesn't happen without the one and only Gretchen Belade, who chairs the Festival Foundation, is such an incredible community supporter who helped save the festival more than a decade ago and now works to keep the event so strong for generations to come. She is one special lady, and we thank you, Gretchen. We know you're up watching this morning.
And here's the thing, another amazing aspect of the Detroit Jazz Festival Foundation is its year-round commitment to providing opportunities for aspiring student musicians from all across the country. So very, very cool. We love the Detroit Jazz Festival. Guys, over to you.
Part of why Detroit is the greatest music city in the world. So great. And let's get to some more music, huh?
That's right. Next up, we have the Dakota High School Marching Band under the direction of Justin McCarowitz. This band is 149 members proud, and they are happy to be performing in America's Thanksgiving Parade. Actually, they're 7th year participating. Yeah, for a few years now. Their goal is to educate and entertain. They're playing today I Love Rock and Roll. So let's listen.
Detroit.com to vote for your favorite band in our marching battle with the bands on Thanksgiving morning.
More from America's Thanksgiving Parade presented by Art Van next.
We're back on Woodward Avenue. It has been a spectacular parade thus far. We've still got a ways to go. And Santa is getting closer and closer as we reach, really.
Oh,
hey!
We know those
Theo
two.
and Roxy,
they
my
got
pals.
plenty of beats.
Yeah.
My goodness.
So good to see the two of them down here. A tradition for them as it is so many other families.
Indeed. All right, we see some big heads hanging.
No, that's just Ben. I kid.
They're headed down Woodward. Hey, Ben.
I tried to put a helmet on it earlier today, but yeah, these are the big heads. Year 12 for these guys, and the brand new one this year is right here with me. And if you don't know who this is, I'll give you a hint. He just flew in from Maui, and boy, are his arms tired. It's Tom Izzo. Do you recognize him? He's brand new this year, and right next to him is Bob Seeger, who is Jennifer Schneider. She's the head honcho this year, and this is year 7 for her. And I think Carmen Harlan is right behind them somewhere, and they're going to run me over, so I better get out of the way. This is sponsored by the Michigan Lottery, of course, and some of these heads, we see these every year, but some of these heads actually date back to the 1940s, so they have definitely been parade veterans here in Detroit. Rod and Rhonda?
All right, Ben, thank you so much. Let's take a look at another one of the floats making its way down Woodward Avenue. This is an incredible one. It's Motown, sponsored by Parade Company Volunteers, and this is so incredible. Let's point out who's on the float, riding on the float is a volunteer of the year, Patty Flack, who has been a Parade Company volunteer for 7 years, dedicating 185 service hours every single year to the Parade Company. She's a tour guide as well, so we certainly appreciate her. And this just really encapsulates the city of Detroit and Motown, Hitsville.
It certainly does, and we cannot thank the Parade Company enough for all that they do and how hard they work in order to make this day happen. We couldn't do it without the volunteers there, and there are many that do work above and beyond to make this day so special for the city of Detroit. And the Parade Company has an amazing group of volunteers that will actually open up their doors and let you come and visit the Parade Company following Thanksgiving to see the floats up close and personal yourself.
And then directly behind this float are the Girl Scouts. This is sponsored by the Girl Scouts of Southeastern Michigan. And boy, do they have spirit. They know how to keep warm this morning. We're watching 100 of Girl Scouts at Southeast Michigan's Gold Award Girl Scouts. And some of the top cookie sellers from our region showing off what makes them girls. G-I-R-L-S. That's go-getters, innovators, risk takers, and leaders.
Yes,
Makes
talk about
sense.
girl power. The Girl Scouts do everything from exploring the great outdoors and earning cybersecurity badges to being just young entrepreneurs in the largest girl-led business in the United States. Of course, we know the cookie sale. Southeast Michigan Girl Scouts start taking cookie orders December 16th.
We like
for
that.
us.
And I hear a new tasty treat is on the horizon this cookie season. Now, the Girl Scouts are not giving away the secret just yet, but you better believe that the skills girls learn by selling cookies will last them a lifetime. Devin and Kimberly, what's your favorite Girl Scout cookie?
I go with the old school names, so I'm going to say the peppermint patty ones,
The
or
Thin Mints?
Thin I like those
Yep,
too. I
love
like
that,
I don't know
love
the
that.
new names, but I was a Girl Scout.
Yep.
My very first time in a TV news station was with the Girl Scouts. Maybe I
And
wouldn't
look
be here.
what happened.
That's right. If it weren't for the Girl Scouts.
And
Okay.
here we are. Fantastic. All right, let's get to our next float, and it is "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." I love this float. This is what happens when you combine settling down for a long winter's nap with a trampoline. So if you put those two things together, you get a rather rambunctious night. And this is sponsored by Detroit Marriott at the Renaissance Center.
Yeah, the hotel is celebrating the magic in the poem, "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," as the poem is being read in this the big Marriott bed, trampoline artists. They're entertaining the children and adults, and the hosts from the Detroit Marriott walk alongside there, and they're got on their PJs, so they're all comfy and smiling and waving there.
So many people know this poem by heart, and it has been called the best known verse written by an American, largely responsible for the conceptions that we have of Santa from this mid-19th century that has lasted to today.
Yeah, and you see that guy flipping there on the bed, Dick Kimball, former dive champion and dive coach at the University of Michigan there, so flipping away.
Pretty fun. All right, it's time for our next entry in the Battle of the Bands, and it is the Big Reds marching band that comes to us from Chippewa Valley High School.
Yeah, let's welcome them. The band will be performing at Walt Disney World in April of 2020. They took first place band in Festival Disney in April of 2016, so they're hoping to repeat that again. There are 141 participants, all under the direction of Tim Hoyt.
We talk about all these commitments that these bands have, and any parent of a band member knows it basically becomes a year-round varsity sport. You've got so many different things that you've got to attend to and participate in, and great events like this one. And they're playing "Do You Hear What I Hear?" Here we go. TTE Energy Music Theater. How many bands can say that?
Not bad at all. And we want to just keep reminding you guys, don't forget to vote for your favorite school march band at our Battle of the Bands. Put on Detroit.com. Sponsored by your Southeastern Michigan Award Dealer. Winner gets a trophy and bragging rights in 2019.
Santa draws closer. Keep it right here as we continue live from downtown Detroit. told you Santa was getting closer. I don't know if his waving arm ever gets tired. That's just part of being Santa. He's pretty muscular about it, but he has been making his way along this long parade route and getting closer and closer here as we get close to its climax, as it is every year. Just getting so terrific crowds that we've been hearing. In fact, Tony Michael's just telling me the crowds are massive up and down the parade route this year.
That's
so really
what we like to hear.
Yep.
All right, hang on to your hats. The clowns are here. Another favorite part of the parade here. Let's get over to Ben Bailey. Hi, Ben.
Devin and Kim, there are no guardrails along Woodward, but I think there should be. They put me in the back seat of one of their cars. Of course, I'm wearing
Look out, buddy.
Yeah. Detroit Fire Department clown team. These guys have been around 1938. One of the oldest clown teams in America. Self-funded, non-profit, all volunteer force. And they do carry their own fire. Whoa! I think I'm going to see a lawyer about that one. But they do carry their own fire extinguishers, which is really cool. These guys are having a lot of fun out here, and I have not wrecked this car just yet, but I may be speaking too soon. Efron, Rhonda, back to you.
Ben, be careful down there, okay?
We always love this part of the parade for sure. Big thanks to them. And coming up next, sponsored by Pepsi, we have the Road to Summer Fun. Oh, on a cold day, you do like to think about summer. It's time to take a break then. Hit the beach. The sun on the back of the float is 16 feet wide and is warming Woodward Avenue this morning, that's for sure.
Yeah, so this holiday season, Pepsi is encouraging everyone to gift it forward. So now through December 31st, you can scan a QR code on specially marked packaging for a chance to win gifts that you can send to a friend. You can donate to a charity or even just keep for yourself. Plus, every scan also earns you an entry into the grand prize drawing once you've logged in or registered.
And take a look at that guy with the Detroit Tigers jacket on there. We have Rosie, Dave Rosema, and Lance Parrish. They are both there on that float. Lance Parrish was a professional baseball player who spent 10 seasons with the Detroit Tigers, including a member of the 1984 World Series championship team. Talked to him earlier this morning. He said, we just need to be patient. He works in the front office with the Detroit Tigers, so we trust that we'll be back doing a Tigers parade one day. Dave Rosema, we're really thankful for him being a part of the parade, and of course the 1984 World Series champion Tigers team as well.
1984, that was a good year to be born, don't you think? Dancing around the float, let's point out the Detroit Tap Repertory from Ferndale, Michigan, so we certainly appreciate them. Let's take a look at this next float here, or these next people that are part of it, the Redford Township Unicycle Club. They make it look so easy.
They do. Richard leading the parade on a 10-foot unicycle.
Wow.
It is a 5-time reigning U.S. male unicycling artistic champion, by the way. And the Redford Township Unicycle Club began in 1975 and is the oldest club in the nation. Some current members have been in the club since the 1970s and can still do their thing.
That's awesome. Their members travel throughout the U.S. and abroad to attend unicycling competitions. Very cool. Kimberly and Devin, over to you. I'd love to see you guys on one of these things.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you wouldn't. It would not be pretty, not even in all the bike lanes that we have now in the city. But coming next, just one of my favorite characters of entertainment in the American pantheon. You know, it was Jim Henson took his mom's old coat.
I did not know that.
And cut it up into what for a long time was just sort of an indeterminate creature. It wasn't until 10 years later that he decided that it was
Kermit the Frog. Kermit the Frog. That's right.
Just what a wonderful spirit and a wonderful soul that Jim Henson was, and he gave birth to it in Kermit as well.
Yeah, with a little help from Wayne State University here. They're the ones who are sponsoring Kermit the Frog for us today. They want to remind you that it's good to be green, but it's even better to be green and gold. Of course, Wayne State's colors, and you mentioned earlier, Devin, the Detroit High School tuition pledge, which will provide free tuition to students who graduate from a Detroit high school in 2020 or Detroit residents who earn a high school diploma in 2020 for free. It is just phenomenal.
I know we talked about it earlier, but you just can't say enough about what a spectacular moment that was. We've got much more to come. America's Thanksgiving Parade continues.
America's Thanksgiving Parade, presented by Art Van, was sponsored by Ford Motor Company. Go further. Somerset Collection, in the name of fashion. And Children's Hospital of Michigan. One focus, one purpose. Your child.
Oh my gosh, do you hear the roar?
You hear the roar of the crowd all up and down Woodward Avenue. It is such a beautiful morning here, and we're excited because we've got somebody really, really special that we want to show you.
Absolutely.
Somebody that's really put Detroit out there and showing everybody how much talent Detroit really, really has.
Well,
this is Anthony White, the director of the Detroit Youth Choir and co-grand marshals, sponsored by Ford Motor Company.
I don't know if you notice who's driving the car. This is when
Who
you
is
know
that?
you made it. Because Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan is driving the Mustang.
Well, there we go.
And the Detroit Youth Choir riding along. Of course, they wowed the city when they took home second place in America's Got Talent, and they have just done so many amazing things, performing all across the country. The exceptional group that has performed at the Michigan Outdoor Adventure Center, ribbon cutting ceremony, Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame induction ceremony, a documentary, IMAX film, American Musical Journey, which was to be shown in all IMAX theaters across the United States, recorded with the UK group, the Go Team, performed the national anthem at the Detroit Pistons and Memphis Grizzlies, at the Little Caesars Arena. I mean, they're all over the place.
And not to mention, they opened up the parade, so we are certainly proud of each and every one of them. They are making everybody here from Detroit so excited and so supportive of them. So we certainly enjoy seeing them perform and having them as co-grand marshals for this year's America's Thanksgiving Parade, presented by Art Van.
Absolutely. And their signature color purple and sporting those Detroit shirts. We're just so proud of these kids and how they represent our city all across the country. And they are in demand in terms of performing, but they certainly are deserving of the co-grand marshal. And we do want to thank Ford Motor Company for sponsoring their opportunity to roll down Woodward.
Devin and Kimberly, over to you. Kimberly, I know you spent a lot of time with them when they were in LA.
I know, they feel like family, guys.
Right?
I was out in Hollywood with them for 2 weeks. It's just fantastic. So proud of them.
Well, we've got the elves, so you know what's getting closer and closer. The 60 Elves of Giving, sponsored by Art Van Furniture. 60th anniversary for Art Van, so that's why you've got 60 elves. You know, we talk about Art Van and their role in the parade. They do so much that we don't necessarily always talk about. We had all those terrible flooding problems earlier this year in places like Taylor and Dearborn and Detroit, and Art Van donated about $300,000 worth of mattresses to low-income families who were really struggling in all of that water. So those are the kinds of things that keep them such a vibrant part of the community.
And not only that, $2 million of brand new furniture to various nonprofits throughout the state as well. They do so much for our community, and we are so happy and thankful for it.
I say it every year, and this is my favorite float. I just think this thing is a thing of beauty, but of course it has to be because it's Santa's sleigh.
That's right. You may know him by Santa Claus, Saint Nick, Father Christmas, Kris Kringle, I don't know. Santa is what we call him. He knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. That's what people have been waiting for. There's Santa in his sleigh.
And the music you're hearing in the background is Santa Claus is coming to town, and certainly true today. He gets to be the star of the show every year. I love the big head elves, by the way, as well.
So nice.
All those smiling faces of the kids, this is what they've been waiting for, and it's paying off. Look at, is that sun? Is that sunshine that we're seeing way up?
Way back
how about
there.
that?
Not a bad way
Santa
to
thinks
cap
of
off
everything.
The parade. There he is. Ho, ho, ho. And hi, Santa Claus. I've been good. I've been really good this year.
I know better, but I'm not going to spill it right now.
That's right. What everybody's been waiting for.
Really great. He'll be taking his steps up there to get in front of Santa's castle. And then we can get underway with this is just the first tradition that everybody maybe has around their house in Detroit. You've got, of course, the big meal that's the centerpiece of so many people's Thanksgiving. We've got football coming up as well. So it's just a classic American holiday in a classic American city.
Oh, here he comes. Santa Claus. All the kids have been waiting. See this
He's
very
looking good,
moment.
looking good and trim this year. Let's get down to Ben.
Santa Claus, welcome to Detroit.
Thank you.
And Mayor Mike Duggan's here, and I think he has a little something he'd like to give to you.
Well, Santa, we wanted to welcome you to Detroit. I hope you had a good trip in from the North Pole, and it's great to see so many people out here to greet you. And the children of Detroit have a present from their hearts to yours, the key to our city. Welcome.
thank you, Mayor. You know, Detroit is one of my favorite stops on Christmas Eve. And you have been so welcoming to me and great for the city of Detroit. I've enjoyed seeing all the good boys and girls here on Woodward Avenue as I make for my visit back. Thank you. And I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas!
Well, thank you, Santa. We know you've got a lot of work to do, so we'll let you get to it.
Thank you.
All
Good
right.
to see you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
So the mayor had a couple of duties today. He wanted to drive one of the pace cars, which was just fantastic. And we're back here with Tony Michaels, who I guess will tell you you've done it again, Tony. What a beautiful parade.
Well, I'll tell you what, our team did it, the great sponsors, just everybody involved. And it is Thanksgiving, and I just want to say something, bottom of my heart and our team and our board. Dan Gilbert, we hope you're watching, because what you've done in this city is just incredible, and I know you're not going to stop, and everybody's thankful on Thanksgiving to you.
We're sitting right next to this skyscraper that's going to take shape. That was Dan's vision as well, so we're right with you on that. I also want you to repeat, though, what you've been hearing about the crowds up and down Woodward today, and I know we always say big crowds, but go ahead and tell me.
Well, I do, don't I? No, but Tanya Allen and other people who've been on the float said, Tony, I've been on for years. I've never seen anything like this. It was that deep, all the way back to the DIA. But that says so much for our city.
Yeah.
This is a great event. It's wonderful for everybody, but everybody shows up because people care about Detroit, and that's what makes us so special.
Let's put a capper on it just that way. Tony, congratulations as always. Thanks. Let's get back down to Ben.
Guys, it has been a beautiful morning here on Woodward. We were a little nervous about the winds at first, but they calmed down, they cooperated. Everybody came out and had a fantastic time. We even get a little sunshine here at the end. It's great to see the confetti, Santa coming by, and that means Christmas is just around the corner. So Evrod and Rhonda, over to you.
Thank you so much, Ben. I want to say a happy Thanksgiving specifically to my in-laws who are watching in Colorado, my parents who are watching across the country, and a happy Thanksgiving to my beautiful wife and my two boys. And you.
Who are here. Happy Thanksgiving. I know
yes, happy Thanksgiving.
For the last 6 hours and didn't say happy Thanksgiving, but definitely have so much to be thankful for, and a big happy Thanksgiving to my entire family and to my greater Detroit family of so many friends who have been texting me. Sorry I haven't responded. I've been working.
A little busy for the past couple of hours.
But I have to say, just looking at the floats this year and the balloons, this is one of the best I have ever seen, and they're good every year.
Yeah.
But the parade company is stepping up their game along with all the sponsors that are funding the opportunity to make this day so special for everyone. So thank you all, and of course on behalf of Local 4, we are so happy to be a part of your Thanksgiving morning every year. So we'll see you back here same day, same time next year.
Yes, and we certainly thank you for all of the kind Twitter messages, Facebook, Instagram that you've been sending us. We'll respond to each and every one of you individually, but make sure you tune in tomorrow morning for Local 4 News Today. We're kicking your Black Friday off right. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, gang. And let's get to a new holiday tradition in the making. The first parade for Basil.
Baby Basil. He's like a little bit.
You have to have the hat off because it's the most spectacular head of hair.
Hi, bud. It's your TV debut. Say hi. So happy to start this tradition with my family. It just makes me emotional just to have him here. Last year, I was pregnant with him, and now he's here, and hopefully starting a very long tradition here, bringing him to the parade.
Brian, how do you do today? He was pretty happy watching Mom do this? He was fantastic. Here comes the review, which is great. This is really super. Oh, we do have one piece of business I got to get to. The winner of the $500 Somerset gift collection gift card. You were not eligible, Basil, I'm afraid, and that's why it goes to Darian Dolan of Sterling Heights. That's a pretty darn good way to start your shopping this holiday season. $500 to you, and thanks to everyone at Somerset for making that possible. And as we mentioned, speaking of shopping, tomorrow, Local 4 News at 4 and 5. Help Me Hank, going to show you where you can get the gift card for some of the season's best buys. So if that's a big part of we keep talking about tradition for a lot of people, it's getting out there in the masses tomorrow.
Exactly, and we want to remind you, coming up after the parade, be sure to stay tuned at noon for Hope, Joy, and Heroes, the Children's Hospital of Michigan's Thanksgiving Day special about real-life stories of kids in crisis and the experts who help them beat the odds. You won't want to miss it.
Basil's ready to go.
Yeah, he's
right?
I've had enough of this.
There's so much stuff around here that we want to grab, that's for sure. sure. This would not be possible if not for the heroics of the people who work behind the scenes here at Local 4. We have the best crew in the world. They're just spectacular, and a lot of them have not seen anything close to bed yet. They've been out here all night getting ready to bring you this terrific tradition every year, so our hats off to them as they are every year. And our hats off to everyone at the Parade Company. And we are so glad that this tradition is something you want to do with us every year. It just means the world to us to bring you this terrific tradition every year, and you too, Basil.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Thanks for watching.
So long.
Clowny are registered trademarks of the Parade Company and may not be used without expressed written consent of the Parade Company. Promotional consideration provided by General RV Centers, the nation's largest family-owned RV dealer, and Metro Cars, more than a ride to the airport. Furniture and closed captioning provided by Art Van Furniture.